Just found the most interesting story in Old Cars Weekly magazine. Young lady named Carol Connors. It's very early 60s, 63. She has a boyfriend. She's a songwriter. She was lead singer of the group The Teddy Bears that had sung the song To Know Him Is to Love Him. And later on, in 77, she went to do the theme song for Rocky. But in 63, she had a boyfriend that had an Ace Bristol. Well, the Ace Bristol is basically the same car as a Cobra. The Cobra version was repowered by Shelby with a Ford engine. Well, she biffed the front end of it. So he was telling her to get it fixed. No one would touch it because it's an aluminum car. So he told the boyfriend made the stupid mistake of telling her about Carol Shelby. And maybe he could fix it or get body parts for it. So she went over to Shelby's shop in California where he was assembling these. And he says to her, no, they couldn't get body work for that Bristol. But when he found out who she was, he told her how much he loved that song, To Know Him Is to Love Him. And he told her that if she would write a song about Cobras, and if it got to be #1, that he'd give her a Cobra. Well, she went home and banged out a song, which I will put a link to below for you youngins that have not yet heard it. I mean, I'm sure there's some of you out there that have never even heard the song. But she went home and banged out a song and took it into her record company. Well, they tried to get the Beach Boys to sing it, and the Beach Boys blew it off. Their reasoning was because a girl couldn't write a car song. So they wouldn't even listen to it. But a little-known group named the Ripcords, one of the producers was a member of that group, so he says, well, we'll sing it. They sang the song. It shot to #1 in the charts. I remember like 1 week it wasn't on the charts and the next week it was #1. Everybody loved it. So it turns out that Shelby did give her a brand new Cobra, and she drove the wheels off of it for years. She no longer has it, but she drove the wheels off of it for years. She also became Shelby's girlfriend. She was with Shelby in 64 when they walked into a restaurant, and Enzo Ferrari was sitting across the room, and Shelby shouted across the room that he was going to beat him at Le Mans. And sure enough, he did. He slaughtered him. But this young lady wrote this record, and she remained lifelong friends with Shelby. For his 75th anniversary, she sang Hey Little Cobra at his for his 75th birthday party, she sang Hey Little Cobra at his birthday party. But Lee Iacocca loved her. He said that every 25 minutes on every radio station in the country, Ford got free advertising for that car. And that song did put Cobras on the map. I mean, it made them part of the culture, because before, the only ones that had even heard of Cobras, this was when they were just starting out in 63. And the only ones that had even heard of this were real motorheads, you know. Some of us knew about it, but almost nobody knew about them. Everybody knew what a Corvette was. Nobody knew what a Cobra was. So she put them on the map. But I just thought that was a terribly interesting story that I'd share with you. As I say, there'll be a link below to the song Hey Little Cobra. Have a nice evening.